Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be, as we love to say in these YouTube roleplay games. Welcome to the Southern Knights ST announcement. I'm Carl Gesline. I am the ST. In fact, let me put my lower half on so you guys will know who I am. On behalf of Matt Pritchard, who evidently could not be here, even though I didn't plan this until just like now I have my stuff and then Matt will have his stuff, and we'll make sure we both get our stuff out to you. Um, so, actually, that's not what I want. Um, there we go. I'm just making my lower third before I get started, so when you come into the room, you know who I am. There we go. All right. So the purpose of this meeting tonight is, well, not really the meeting. This is me just passing on some information. Everybody will notice that I did not give a join link for this one. I gave you the YouTube link, which will allow you to watch and interact and go back and watch it again. But it won't let you come in here and sit with me because I have a lot of stuff I have to pass on to you in a short amount of time to do it. So let's get started. What version of Requiem are we using? Some people have asked me that. We are using the new version of Requiem, Blood and Smoke, which if you need to get a copy of it, let me know. We will help you. We will help you and we'll help you get it, and that way you have a copy. And we'll go through helping you make your first characters. It's different enough from the old world that you need to probably have a little help the first time. And we don't absolutely, we love it. That's what we do. We have a couple players that are veterans. Fred Swan is a longtime Requiem player. With the fact that the new book is not that drastically different, Fred should be able to help with character creation. Everybody wants to know what the setting is. The setting takes place in Atlanta, Georgia in 1980. This is directly after the massive brood attack in the southeast, which most of the princes in the area repelled the attack, but not without some serious butt hurting. The kindred got their butts kicked in the process. So the princes and everybody came together and said, well, we'll help each other take back our domains, and that's blah. And Atlanta, of course, is a Carthian free state at this current moment, as of right now, anyway. That could always change. You know how vampire politics are, no matter what world you're playing, new or old. Stephen McDermott is the prince, and he is. I'm using my phone to watch my Facebook because people, I'm sure, are asking questions. So, this is old. Get back to him. The princes are in the southeast. There are a total of 5 princes. Prince McDermott, who runs Atlanta, he is Carthian. Prince Sylvester, who runs Savannah Beach, he is Order of Dracul. And then there are 2 archons also residing in the domain of Jacksonville, which is a Midgesran domain. So you'll see from time to time people come in and out of the domain that are friends of Prince McDermott's. Well, as friends as can be when you're not a Carthian anyway. But, there'll be people in and out of the domain at all times. Hospitality is done on the 2nd Saturday of the month. However, it is suggested that you speak to your Priscus as soon as we get them. We don't have them now, so you can come directly to Prince McDermott. Once we establish Priskis, if you're wondering what a Prisky is, for those of you that are old world, Priskis Priskies are the representatives of the covenant. Primogen are the representative of the clans. In New World, clans don't mean quite as much as the covenant. So we are not focusing on a Prisky council. A Primogen council now. We are forming a Prisky council for the covenants. Uh, Carthian movement, Lancia Sanctum, Order of Dracul, Circle of the Crone, and the Invictus. You notice that I put the Invictus there at the end. Tells you how I like them. No, I'm just kidding. Um, um, so this, like I said, we are in the process of getting rid of the last remnant of the brood. Um, it's kind of been a shaky fight for McDermott. He's lost a lot of good people he cared about a lot. So he's kind of not the most stable prince right at the current moment. And so when you meet him, you'll see that he's kind of a little screwy. For those of you that know what it is, he's a typical Malkovian Ventrue. You know that he is insane. As you guys know, the bloodlines of the Malkovian was made into a Ventrue bloodline, which is kind of the same as the stuff that goes on. All right, we talked about setting character creation. I will need deadline. I have a deadline for character creation. It will be I want to say I want to go live the first weekend of June. I want to hold court the first weekend of June. So that way we have a couple of weeks left to get character sheets going on to you, and we have a lot of stuff to get done. So that's important. Character sheets must be in by the 31st of May. It gives me plenty of time, Matt and I, plenty of time to look at them and make sure we know what we're doing for the first game. If you have volunteered, there is one or two players that have volunteered to play NPCs for the first game. That is cool. I still want your character sheet by the 31st, so make sure you get it to me. If you need a lesson on how to use Google Hangout, that's cool. We can do that. It's not hard. I can always take you through it real quick before we go live. Because there's time you can sit in the room before you hit start broadcast and just talk. So that'll work. Let me show you the dice monger and that. Sorry. So let me show you the dice counter. All right, give you an example. I am going to punch Joe the vampire's going to punch Jane the vampire in the nose. She has Brawl 2, Street 2, Brawl 2. So you pluck up here 4. Click the dice roller on your file. If you pull out menu over here on the left, and you click on dice, and you pull 4. So we're assuming that this is just going to be a punk that we don't need to roll initiative or anything like that. So we're going to run 4 dice, because you said 2 Brawl, 2 Street. Look at there. There is a 10 and a 1. So the ultimate failure and the ultimate failure and the 10 again, which means you get to roll your dice over again, they negate each other. So you have 1 success. Let me shake this off so I can show you. 1 is a critical failure. It means that you just didn't do it. And depending on which one of us is ST at the time, there may be something you do instead. But a 10 again is 10 means you get to roll your dice in a second time for successes. We will put a success monitor and show you what success levels is. I just have to find it to put it up on the forums. So basically, you got one success, and basically you would put that there in the number on the right. And if you had not had that one, that 10 again, you would have just rolled your whole dice pool again for total numbers of total numbers. I think I'm telling you guys that right. So you have. Wait a minute. Yeah. So I believe it's anything. I want to say anything over. You know what? Let me find out. Let me ask somebody. I better not talk about combat just yet because I'm hoping that we're not going to have any. But that's just how the dial rolls. You get your numbers together just like you do in Old World. You roll tens. You roll by total number of successes. Success ratio. We'll get it for you before the first game. So with that said, I think I covered everything. We covered where the game, when I need character sheets by the end of the month, where our game takes place in character. The forums. Wow, the forums. When you go to here, if you will, let me get that for you real quick. Let me get that link up here. If you can, go ahead and make an account on this forum. Now you'll notice that there's passworded covered it forums. If we end up not using those for in-character stuff, well, actually we will. They're passworded because we will use those for in-character stuff as well. Because there'll be stuff we want to pass that we don't necessarily always want to run scenes for. Storytellers do not have to always be present for scenes, but you are responsible for at least having your scene up on your YouTube page within 24 hours. We want to see it, and it needs to be on the Facebook within 48. If you do not have the Facebook, I will give you that link too. Give me just a second. Yep. Let me give you that link as well. That Facebook group is a group where once you do your scenes, we need to see that there so that we can review and make sure no cheating or no accidental cheating or no misinterpretation of the rules happened while we were not running the scene with you. We will most likely only be running the major scenes, things that are going to be plot driven. But there's no need for storytellers to always be there when you are going to run a scene that is going to require not require an SD. Now, if it's going to end up in something that could end in a PC death, then you need to stop and allow a storyteller to be the present. I am usually around in the evening time from 3 to midnight Eastern Standard Time. That's some of the times I am in my office hours. Matt is different. If you want Matt to run a scene, you need to contact him ahead of time so that he can prepare his schedule because sometimes he's just not available. And when he decided to help me with the game, he told me from the get-go that he wasn't going to be able to devote the full time that is necessary for the game. Okay, if you have questions, I want you to write this email down as well. Um, and I will put it up there so you guys can write it down. That is for me. This is for me. That way, that way you always kind of know what is going on with that. Um, that's if you have a question for me specifically about your character, you just don't feel comfortable asking me, like on Facebook chat or something. Shoot me an email there, and we'll go through and help you. Um, because we want it to be as fair as a partial game, no cheating, because cheating just sucks. So, I'm trying to think if I needed anything else. Um, well, that's not cool. Um, okay, I was going to look up something in the book and then share it. Combat pools, success levels. What is credit? How many successes? We have one with 10 again. We're going to have one house rule that you only get to run 10 again once. If you get another 10 after the first time, then we actually I said one. We probably will either do one or two 10 agains if you happen to get another 10 for your number of successes. So because if we some people just get real lucky on the dice roller and just rock out tens. You only if you get more than it just we have to put a stop to 10 again. You only get one. I'm going to make an executive decision without the other storyteller and say 10 again. You only get it one time. You only get to re-roll your stuff one time, and then it's just successes. Okay. I will post that on the forum when I get done here. I see I have a new person that just asked to join my group. I'm trying to see who it is. Jake. Confirm. And, okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh. So, like I said, if you got questions, go ahead and email me at georgiabynightst.com. Or actually, if you make an account on the board, feel free to send me a PM. I am Cypher, Cypher. So send me a PM on the forums. That'll make sure you get ahead. Oh, I'm going to take this. I'm going to go back over here and take this off. Actually, I'm going to change it. When you make your forum account, I'm going to go ahead and help you right now. You need to do your first initial, last name. You're going to have millions of characters, but there's only one you, and we don't want you making more than one user account. We only give one warning on that, and then we kind of block you because, well, we don't want a lot of spam accounts. We're trying to keep our accounts in check. So when you make your account, use your first initial, last name. So, for example, mine is, mine is C Ghostline. So, Storyteller. Or just send a note to the Storyteller group. You'll be able to see us once. Or, yes, send a note to me in private. You see this one. That's me. That's how, that's how I want it. First initial, last name. We do that because, once again, you will only have one account, but you may have 2 million characters. So that's what we want. Once again, we are playing Blood and Smoke, Vampire New Requiem. We're excited to be playing this game. The game just came out back in December. Didn't know it until Matt said, hey, this is not the old Requiem Facebook group. This is the new one. I'm going, okay. And I picked up the book, and the book is beautiful. Just telling you, if you're a fan of New World. So with that said, I'm going to wait on Matt. And you may even get to see a scene tonight between the sheriff and the prince. It's pretty important that they speak before court. Excuse me. So, like I said, shoot me an account on the forum. If you have a character sheet, go ahead and email it to. Let me go ahead and give you both of the email addresses. Give me just 1 minute. I have to get it from the website because I don't know Matt's by heart. Oh. And the forum is being laggy. Let me. There it went. Give me just a moment. Okay. There we go. All right, sorry about that. I don't know Matt's email address by heart. So anyway, here is the ST's email addresses. When you make your character, send it to us and make sure that both of us are on the email. That's really important because if we're not, and because both of us have to tell you the character's okay to play. Although I think with Matt being semi-active and semi-inactive, he's going to tell you to go to me. But I want him to. I want him to have. Oh, I want him to have. Just as much say. So use those two emails and make sure that you use both of them because those are the storytellers' emails. So, yeah, try to make sure I have everything. When you get on the forum, you will not be able to see anything until one of us gives you your group rights. Until I get a character sheet, your only group right will be the Players Union group, which means you're only going to see the out of character forum, and that's okay. And the player ties and the PC character ties forum. If that's basically a forum for if you want to get another PC or PC to be sire or something, you can post that there. So that way we're not talking about general chat. When you make a character and you choose your covenant and your clan, just your covenant, we will add you to two more groups. It will be your covenant group, whether it be Carthian Movement, Invictus, etc., and the IC group list. Basically, the IC group list will allow you to see the Elysium thread as well as the just the Elysium thread, because that's all I have out there right now. But anything like when we get it going and we get a Harpy and we get things like that where we need to keep the Harpy's notebook, the Harpy will have access to that, and it'll be under the in-character group. Basically, it just kept me from making the forums look kind of nice and neat with only one moderator group on it, instead of going and putting the every covenant moderator group on the list. So that's why I did that. Okay, questions. If you have a question, friend me on Facebook, because I know you know I'm here. Friend me on Facebook and ask me questions. I am here for you. Or you can, if you have Google Voice or Google Chat on your email, add my email at GeorgiaByNightST@gmail. And add Matt Pritchard4 at Gmail. That way, if you have questions, we want to answer you, because if not, I'm going to go ahead and widen it up so I can get ready to do the scene. The prince and the sheriff need to meet to discuss how they're going to handle a certain interrogation. So with that said, I'm really excited. It may be a little bit before we get started because we really want players. Tell your friends. Absolutely always, always, always tell your friends. Because if you don't tell your friends, well, then how do we get players? Word of mouth is wonderful. Want to thank the guys on the Requiem Facebook group. Love you guys. Dan, thank you so much for doing that group. It's awesome. Want to thank the guys at the YouTube RPG Brigade. They're awesome as well. That's another good place. If you don't want to play this type of game and you want to find another one, that is the best place to do it. That's where I found my Pathfinder group. When I was playing Pathfinder. So so remember the forums, the Facebook group, and the storyteller's email addresses until we get the storyteller list working. Something's wrong with the list; it's not working right. So just hang tight with that. Court is on the in-game court will be held on the second Saturday of the month. We will always say it happens at night in game, but we will play from 12 noon to 7 p.m. You will have story player. You will have me as a storyteller from 12. Oh, I'm sorry, from 10 in the morning, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You will have me available. That is also one of my big LARP nights, which means I will be posting. You will go ST and active at 4 o'clock, which means no more combat. You can't kill anybody. You can run your stuff. You can make your rolls, but you can't. No mass combat will happen after 4 p.m. That gives me time to go get ready to go to game, to COS, and it gives me a chance to come out of storyteller mode and get into the Ben the Big Bad Bruja mode. So, yeah. We may change court to the third because I don't have anything going on the third. Um, it is important. I cannot tell you guys enough to make sure as soon as you're done with your. Don't wait to post your scenes like I see in some games. If we're in a downtime mode, and you have scenes that you have to hold on to, then hold on to them. But make sure that following Monday, when the downtime scenes are done, or when the downtime is done, those scenes go post. I mean, you can post them, you just aren't going to get ST. Well, I know, don't do that. Wait till Monday to post them so I can make sure that they're dated properly on Facebook. So, do it. But I can't emphasize, I do not chase my players for your scenes. XP will go into your we will how we do blue book is we will make your character into a blue book sheet, put it on a form that only the storytellers can see, and update it. Then we will cut and paste it and send it to you in a private message, tell you to spend your XP or hold on to your XP. Either way, let us know if you're banking your XP or you're spending it, and then we will update your sheet. Unlike some games, mine you don't see your blue book. Blue book is for Matt and I to work on downtime stuff. Things, that way if we know, if we can make notes and say in the threads and say, hey, to each other and go, hey, we need to send this NPC to talk to you, or the prince needs to have a word about where you're feeding. Um, there are some in-character places in Atlanta that you don't want to be. We hate to tell you that, but if we were ever to add other venues in the New World of Darkness, such as Werewolf and Mage or whatever, or Geist, it's very important that you know not to go into those areas because there are other things that go bump in the night in Atlanta. But we will tell you about those when we run the scene in game. So, with that said, I'm going to look one more time to see if I have anybody that signed up for the games. I do not have nobody else new in the profile. So, yep. We will talk to you again, Matt. Hopefully, I'll get Matt to do one on character creation and literally help you make your characters. That way, you'll have it and you'll know what to do. Um, I just wanted to make sure the logistics were there and the setting of the game, where it takes place and when it takes place. And also, guys, if you could dress like your characters, it's so much more fun because the 80s is going to be awesome for us to be in the 80s. Coming out of, literally our first game in June will take place on Christmas, on New Year's Eve in 1979. So bell bottoms, the whole fun yards. Have fun with your characters. This is not a LARP, but it is a LARP. If you know what I mean by saying that. Um, so with that said, got all your stuff, all your stuff. Um, I'm gonna jump on Facebook, and this will be posted here on the Facebook here shortly. Thanks, guys. Hope to see y'all in game soon.